What up? My name's John Cena, and this is Do. And welcome to the podcast all about doing. Here with me today, I have.
I'm also John Cena here
Right.
for Do.
Okay. And that's why you can't see both of us right now.
Yes.
Okay, just kidding. My name's Pierce, and I'm here with Mike today. And welcome to the Peter's Oblivious Opinions podcast. Here we talk about anything entertainment, depending on how we're feeling and what we like. This can include, movies, music, people, books, saws, and so much more. So without further ado, we're going to jump right on into it, and we're going to continue with a little series we started in the last episode. So if you haven't listened to that, go listen to it now. Called our battle bracket. It's
Yeah.
it's essentially just like last time we talked about Con Air, and it's essentially just a bunch of movies that are going to be facing off against each other. We're going to be rating them on different things, and yeah, if you want to, we're going to go through a few categories today. What's our movie today, Mike?
We watched Doom, otherwise known as the aftermath of me going number 2 in the bathroom. But yeah, we watched Doom. It was pretty good, and without explaining too much about it, we'll probably just start criticizing it and congratulating it on everything it's accomplished. It's a great movie. I think it was made in 2000, according to Netflix. Seems about right.
Is it 2000?
I think it was 2000, around there. It was back when The Rock looked like he was half the size
Okay.
he is now.
Okay.
So it's probably when he was younger.
Makes sense. So I just shot a quick Google in here, and I think it's 2005 was when it came out. But maybe there was like some earlier versions of it. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Netflix is wrong, or maybe my memory is trash. Probably my memory is trash.
Or we watched it two different movies.
I hope not. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I guess we'll start. Last time we started with actors, I think.
Yes.
So
But
I
think this time, last time we said we were going to go to the plot first, that, we understand what's going on before we talk about the actors.
Yes. Let's do that. I'm just going to bring up a list of the characters here just so I can remember
Okay.
who everyone is. Oh yeah, it is 2005. What the hell? I'm crazy.
I choose to blame Netflix for this one.
Yes. Netflix really let me down, not my own memory.
No, absolutely Netflix.
All right. So, let's start with the plot. You know what, Pierce?
All right.
If you want, you can summarize the plot, because I think I did.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to summarize the plot here, but my memory is complete trash. So if you want to, maybe, jump in somewhere if I'm missing something, I'd appreciate that. Okay.
Sure, will do.
Okay. So weirdly enough, the year is 2026, if you can believe that, which is like 6 years away. But in 2026, there's like this weird wormhole portal between, Mars and, Earth. It's like super weird. It's like a city on Mars. Anyway, there's like this group of Marines, I think they are. And they're ready to go on leave, and they get sent on this mission right before they go on leave to this place because something has broken out and it's like terrorizing this place called the Ark. So they go to the Ark, and one of the guys, the main character, it ends up being him and his twin sister's working on there. They kind of meet up, and they have a little bit of a sour history, which I don't think it really delves into well enough, but we'll get into that after. And it turns out that they figured out that on Mars there, years and years earlier, there was a humanoid race that had a genetically enhanced 24th chromosome. So, the Marines, they're going through the facility and they find a bunch of dead, doctors and stuff like that. And essentially, it basically turns into like a zombie movie almost. Like
Yeah.
yeah, they're like infecting each other and they're coming after each other, and eventually, I don't know. Are we spoiling? Did we spoil the end on Con Air there? I can't quite remember.
I think it's safe to assume anyone that would watch this probably doesn't care if it's spoiled.
Okay, that's a safe assumption. So just spoiler warning. Essentially, what ends up happening is they figure out that this genetic enhancement, it actually has come back around, and that's what's infecting people. And it's going after people that have what the scientist, which is the twin sister in this case, thinks are weaker, not weaker, but like the 10% of the genome that hasn't been mapped that she thinks is the soul of the person, and it's going after people with worse souls that are, I guess, worse people for that reason. I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, people that are more prone to like psychotic tendencies.
Yeah,
Because some of that
not
stuff is like
necessarily worse people, but
so,
more prone to psychotic tendencies. Yeah, that's
yeah, so it like explode them.
yeah. And so it like shoots into their neck, turns them into these like zombie things that are just going around killing people and trying to turn other people like that. Um, and they also find out it doesn't go after people who have what they consider, not disposed to these tendencies. And it essentially ends in, the Sarge, who's another guy, losing his mind, thinking he has to kill everybody on the Ark even though they've now found out that it's not infecting everybody. And he just goes berserk. And essentially ends in a fight between him and the lead character in the end. And you find out the Sarge has also been infected, and then he dies.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
pretty much
much.
it.
Sounds about right. Yeah, the Sarge starts going crazy because all his Marines start dying one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that would really suck, right? As you're about to go on leave, you
Yeah.
get thrown into that.
Yeah, and you.
Is there not like a second squad that takes their off shift that they could have sent instead? I don't know.
For sure. Now, the plot of this movie, in my opinion, was very convoluted and confusing to me. Maybe I'm just like, not picking up on things easily, but I found it very confusing.
Yeah, it's definitely not clear. I feel like they could have gone into stuff more, like, for example, what happened to his parents.
Yeah, like, what was that all about? Like, they're talking. I felt like that was going to be a huge plot point, especially when at the start Sarge comes up to what? Why can't I remember the name of the main character there? But he comes up to the main character, John Grimm, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes up to him and he's like, "Yo, you can sit this one out if you want to." And John Grimm's like, "No, I have to. I guess I got to face this at some point." And then he never really faces it, in my opinion. Like, I don't like. It's never really explained.
He kind of gets distracted with all this crazy stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he does kind of reconcile with his sister, who he apparently hadn't seen in like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think he kind of fled the Mars place because that's where his parents died.
Makes sense, yeah. Yeah.
But his sister
But it also seemed like
that's all you can really get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It also seemed like there's some bad blood between him and his sister that I feel like wasn't really confronted throughout the movie.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I thought the plot was pretty decent, though.
Yeah?
Especially for a movie that was based off a video game.
Yeah. Oh, video game movies are horrible, notoriously bad, and this one is pretty good.
Like, if it wasn't based off a video game, I feel like it could easily blend into like other good action movies.
Absolutely. So for sure, and like especially like the whole part that's in first person there. That like,
Oh yeah,
super cool. It's great for the video game crowd and also sets the movie apart even from other movies of that type while still making it as, in that same field that it can still get mainstream. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's kind of just like a shout out to the gamers, I think,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is cool. All
Absolutely.
right. I don't
Um,
know if there's anything else to say about the plot.
I don't know if I have a whole ton either. It's not like this movie is like a horror action movie, so I feel like the plot's not the most important thing
Yeah,
in the movie, so I don't think there's a whole ton to say about it.
yeah. I think it was like solid enough that there was a story,
Yeah,
but it wasn't like breathtakingly amazing
yeah.
or just a masterpiece of writing.
Didn't make me reflect on myself or life at all, but it supported the fact that it was an action horror movie.
Yeah, as far as action horror movies go, the story was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Okay.
Yeah,
Are you ready to give
cool.
your rating here?
Yes.
Okay, me too.
I'm going to give it a 3 on plot because it's kind of put in the middle of good and it was like decent. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to give it right in the middle. The
Yeah.
3.
So, I had a 3 for plot too, but I feel like I can't give the same as you right off the bat here. So I'm going to give it a 3.1 out of 5.
All right.
But because I feel the same too. I feel like it wasn't a life-changing plot. It was pretty average, but it supported the movie well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. And you know what? It really wasn't about the plot. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a good point.
It's definitely a passable plot. Like, it's not going to fail. It's not going to be 2.5 or under. I think it's not under 3. So.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, what should we move on to next? Actors?
Yeah, I think we should go with some actors here.
All right.
And just for anybody listening, just in case you don't know what we're rating on from our last podcast, it's going to be plot, actors, soundtrack, cinematography, costume design, our general experience, and then Donnie.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
So actor.
A tier list here, right, of actors? That's.
Oh yeah.
S to F.
S to F. Okay. So let's start with the main guy.
Okay.
Karl Urban.
Karl
as John Grimm / Reaper.
Yeah. Well, like, I think he did a pretty decent job. Like, the actor himself, I don't know him too well. I know he's in that new Amazon series, The Boys, that's really good. But,
yeah.
Like, other than that, I don't really know the actor, but I think he acted well in the movie.
Yeah. I think at first I had a hard time understanding what he was saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as the movie went on, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, and I think he did a good job, like, because he did a good job of being almost like that guy that's secondary to the Sarge, but isn't as, like, intense as the Sarge. You know what I mean? As a sergeant.
Yeah, he's like a level head.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy. I don't know if he was. I don't think he was supposed to be the second in command, but that's really the role he kind of took on.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think he did a pretty good job in this movie. I don't think it was exceptional though. I think.
Yeah, it was like pretty solid again.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not expecting exceptional acting from a horror action movie. But.
Fair enough, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. I think I'm probably gonna give him a B+ on this.
I'm gonna give him an A, just because he was also in Lord of the Rings, and I like that movie, those movies, and I'm biased, and I don't care.
That's fair. That's
an A.
That's absolutely fair. All right. So I guess we can move on to kind of what I view as the second main character here, which is The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah. Now this is kind of, if I believe right, it's right when The Rock's starting to take off, right? 2000.
Yeah, I think so. It must be, because I don't know of too many movies before that. Like, now he's in every movie that's produced,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
back then, I didn't see him in a lot of stuff.
No, me neither. Now, like as per his acting, I again think he was fairly solid in this movie. You know?
Yeah, his character was definitely believable.
Yeah. Like like the character transitioning from good to evil. I think he did a really good job of portraying that transition of being someone that everybody believes in and then suddenly no one believes in. You know?
Yeah, it's like really subtle,
Yeah.
so you don't even notice it. Just all of a sudden, you see the difference between where he is now and where he was before, and you're like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. And
Losing.
the way he portrays himself and the look in his eyes and the way he stands, I think really subtly changes between those two, that which makes us feel that really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not sure where to put him here. I almost fell out of my chair. Uh, I think he did better than Karl Urban here, but I don't think again it's exceptional. So I'm gonna give him an A.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an A too. He definitely did a good job.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to see him in a role that, like, he's not just a generic good guy,
Yeah. He's kind of
main character.
yeah. Yeah, I like that too.
Kind of different.
Kind of a deeper story to it and more can show his acting chops off a little bit more, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He looks so young in this movie.
So young. He's like half ripped as he is now and he still could like tear my face off.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we got 2 A's.
Okay. I got an A and a B plus. Okay. So I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page here. The 4 people that it is starring are Karl Urban, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Rosamund Pike, and Razaaq Adoti. So I don't know if we want to go through those 4 and then maybe choose a couple more that we thought were
Sure.
outstanding. Okay. So do you want to do Rosamund Pike next?
Yeah. We can talk about her character.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I thought she did a good job.
Yeah. I think she outperformed how the character was written. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she really didn't have a lot of depth to her character, I don't think.
No.
But
She did a good job of doing better despite that the character not being written with much depth. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. I felt like she really sold the connection between her and her brother, like that hate at the start transitioning to that trust. And I also feel like she's like sold the fact of being a scientist as well, or an archaeologist.
Yeah, she definitely looked like a scientist.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean, I think the whole thing is really not the whole thing. The actors of Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Karl Urban, and Rosamund Pike. I feel like those 3 really carried the movie heavily. Um, so I'm probably willing to put her in between that B plus to A region as well for that reason, and again show for that transition that can be hard to do of those 2 states of character. Um,
Yeah, I'm going to give her an A probably, because
yeah,
I don't think she was any better or worse than the other 2.
me neither.
She did a good job.
Okay, I'm giving her an A.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
Razaaq Adoti. Now, Razaaq Adoti. What was his character name here again?
Really, it was Duke.
Yeah, he was Duke. Now, Duke was the guy that kind of hung out with Rosamund Pike for the majority of it. I felt like he wasn't quite totally comic relief, but he had a more comedic side to him than most of the characters, I felt like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like how he hates going through those special doors or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, I'm gonna say I didn't see any exceptional acting coming out of him, but I didn't see any bad acting either. I felt like he was pretty neutral through the whole thing.
Yeah, he was pretty neutral. And, like, I don't know if it's because of the writing or...
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely heavily because the writing.
It could be.
But
But he also didn't really have that big of a role. He was kind of comic relief, but honestly, he wasn't even the most comic relief in the movie. He just had some funny...
Yeah, I agree. I definitely like... I don't know. I liked his character. He was one of my favorite characters in the movie. As for the acting, like, I don't know. Like, when he died there, like, when he gets pulled through that grate...
Oh, yeah. That's nasty.
Yeah, it was nasty, but I wasn't completely sold on his acting of fear and death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't really memorable. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't really... And honestly, it didn't really affect me.
Yeah, me neither.
Like,
I thought I'd
really
be affected more.
It might be because I assumed everyone would die anyways, but
It's very true.
I don't know. So yeah, he was like okay. I don't think he was as strong as the other three though.
Me neither. I'm definitely putting him in the C category, I think.
C? Okay, I'm gonna give him a B.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give him a C plus because I definitely don't think he deserves a C, but he's not Karl Urban.
Karl Urban.
He's
All
Keith
right.
Urban's lost brother.
Keith Urban? Honestly, probably. All right.
Is there
Let's get in.
Go ahead.
Let's get in some extra people here. I want to go to what's his name, the guy who played Dr. Carmack.
Okay.
Basically, Dr. Carmack is the doctor. It shows him at the start of the movie. He's one of the people that's like running away from these monsters. And the first thing he does in the movie is he's like runs into a room as he's being chased by a monster, and there's a lady behind him who's also getting chased by the same monster. And then he made it to the room first, and obviously, instead of waiting for her, he just decides to close the door. So he saves himself and just lets her die. Anyways, so she runs up and gets an arm through the door, but then it shuts on her arm, and then she gets massacred by the monster, and her arm gets ripped off through the door. So
he immediately gets infected too.
Yeah, then he immediately gets it. Yeah, because it broke through the door right after. So he literally accomplished nothing except screwed over some other lady.
Yep.
But anyways, I think the
actor's name is Robert Russell.
Okay. Maybe he put out like a distress call or something.
I have no idea.
I can't remember what happened.
I think he called a lockdown of that floor. Possibly?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he gets infected, and when the Marines come, they end up finding him doing whatever he was doing. I can't remember how they found him. I think they were searching around, and they came across him.
Yeah, and he was being weird and infected, and then he ripped his ear off.
Oh, yeah, he ripped his ear off. But he was being very crazy.
Yeah.
And just, like, kind of... It wasn't really stuttering. It was like... Well, it kind of was.
Yeah.
He was just talking all weird and was just, like, obviously crazy.
Something was wrong with him, right? I think that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he was infected already.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So you got to kind of slowly see his turning process, I
Yeah,
guess, as he gradually went crazier until he just disappeared.
yeah,
But
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I think so. I don't know about the acting though. Like I was convinced of the fear and everything, but it was also like questionable at the same time. I don't know.
yeah, like I think the way he was stuttering was kind of annoying to me. So I
hmm
didn't really understand what he was saying.
Nope, absolutely. It was so annoying.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
Yeah. And it was like even when they found him, he was like acting like a rat more than he was someone that was like changing into something, which
Oh yeah, true. Like a stray dog
yeah,
or something like that.
it was weird.
Yeah, I feel like the acting definitely could have been better there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in the D to F range on this guy. I don't know
You know
about
what?
you.
I mentioned him thinking I was gonna give him S
Yeah.
for acting,
Okay.
and yeah, now I'm thinking D. I'm not gonna give him an F. He
Okay.
like at least, even though when he was his method was not really something that I'm like sold on,
Yeah.
at least he committed to it
Yeah. Fair.
and was consistent. So I'm gonna give him a D.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm putting him to.
He was a solid D.
I love how you went into this with him as an S.
I was like, he was such a great actor, but then when he pointed out that he seemed like a rat, it's
Yeah.
like really true. Oh my god. All right. Any other actors you want to mention here?
Uh, can I mention an actor just because he got on my nerves?
Yes.
Pinky. Dexter Fletcher is
Mickey.
Marcus Pinky Pinzarowski. Pinky was so annoying, was he not?
I liked his character, honestly.
Like, I think his character was funny, but he was so annoying at the same time.
He was kind of an asshole, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, what was that? He just runs away, and then they find him, and then he indirectly, like, I don't know, causes a whole ton of problems, and then dies.
Oh yeah, and he's like, oh, and like I remember that one part where that guy is getting swung around or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he's screaming, and then Pinky looks through the camera to see what he's looking at, and he just laughs. What a jerk!
Like, what a weird character.
He really was such a weird character, and it was like he was so odd,
He didn't bring
but they
anything
didn't
to the
go.
plot.
Yeah, they didn't go into depth with his character at all.
No.
Maybe they're setting it up for a prequel,
With
a
Pinky.
Pinky prequel.
Imagine it just like a 70s sitcom with him as his main character.
Oh my god, with his wheelchair
Yeah.
and his crossed arms all the time.
Although,
Yeah.
I have to say, the inclusion of his character brought one of the best moments in the movie for me. And do you know what that is? Probably not.
What?
Okay, in the first person scene when he runs into the like the Pinky as the changed into this like zombie like form, and the
Oh
zombie's attached to the wheelchair and can't move anywhere.
yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Now, Dexter Fletcher, what do we think of his acting as Pinky?
Honestly, I thought the acting was fine. I just thought the character was so pointless.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm gonna give him a B.
Okay,
I actually think the actor is a good actor,
okay. I think
but I don't know what happened in this movie.
yeah, like I think the actor that yeah, I agree with you. I think the actor was good and the writing let him down again. Kind of like we've been saying for all these characters.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna give him. I definitely think Razaaq Adoti did better than him. So I think actually I'm gonna bump up Razaaq Adoti to B plus, and I'm gonna put Dexter Fletcher at a C.
Yeah. Wait, what did I give him?
I
I
think
can't
you give him
remember.
a B.
Okay, a B. Yeah, that sounds about right. but he really had such a minimal role.
Yeah.
But yeah, the writing for his character was so just like
It was bad.
It's
So bad.
funny.
Okay, I think that I'm good with not rating any more acting. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honorable mention, we're not going to go into it, but that guy who was like kind of weird.
Oh my.
He was like, he had like the long-ish blonde hair.
Oh my god, that guy.
He was a pretty funny character.
Yeah,
The actor did a good job
actor.
of being a weirdo, I think.
He did a really good job of being a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's pretty much it for that. So I guess we'll rate the acting overall. The actors.
I'm gonna factor like all the actors into it, but these ones are gonna are what's gonna take most importance for me in this rating.
Gotcha.
I think, you got 2 A's there for me. You got a B plus, a B. You got, a C. We don't have an S. I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 for the actors.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was thinking too. It's like solid, and there was like multiple solid actors in there.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty good job.
I agree.
Better than I could do.
Oh, much better than I could do. I bet you that Airbud, whatever dog plays Airbud, could be a better actor than I am.
Airbud? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What do we want to move on to next? What do you feel?
Let's move on to the soundtrack.
Okay, the soundtrack.
Okay. I'm going to be honest here. I paid attention to the soundtrack for like the first 30 seconds and like a random minute in the middle of the movie.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
But
go ahead.
There was some heavy metal music in there.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah, no, me too.
Nothing like killing monsters to heavy metal. I thought it kind of made sense and it was appropriate, but I was kind of missing out on that Con Air guitar for the sad parts.
Yeah, me too. I think, I was really impressed with this soundtrack. I think it fit a horror kind of action movie well. I think they could have leaned a little bit more on the horror side of things, the soundtrack, than the action side. But I was very impressed with the soundtrack. I like you, there was definitely parts where I wasn't listening to the soundtrack, but when I did hear the soundtrack, I was impressed.
Okay. Wait, so give some examples.
Like anytime there was action, the action scenes, right? And that the kind of like fast upbeat music that was playing in those action scenes that got my adrenaline going, got me into the action scenes. That's when I was like really into it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. But other than that, it wasn't super recognizable like the other parts, but those parts really made me super impressed with the soundtrack. That's probably not as much as Con Air either, though, in my opinion, because I do, like Con Air soundtrack a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember some of the Con Air soundtrack from last week.
Yeah.
And I can't remember like any of this soundtrack, so
yeah, I couldn't sing any of it for you.
Not like that other song.
Yeah. Not like that other song.
Oh man.
I think I'm honestly ready to rate the soundtrack. I don't know if I have much more.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I have nothing to say about it. I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Because it was like.
Go ahead.
It just wasn't memorable to me, but I do appreciate the metal parts.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3.2. Mostly because I really, I don't know. I was digging it at some points. I was bobbing my head and like, yeah. Action.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. I say we move on to, some costume design next.
Okay.
So costume design, I was fairly, I don't know, kind of. I thought it was accurate, kind of impressed, kind of neutral on it, somewhere in between there.
Yeah, like there were 3 costumes. It was Doctor,
True.
Marine, and Monster.
Yeah.
And I think the Marines kind of made sense. What they were wearing, they're all dressed the same.
Yeah.
They're all looking black, or like they all had like black outfits or whatever.
Okay.
And I thought their costumes looked pretty cool. And then the scientists had your white lab coat,
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a really good job making those monsters look freaking nasty.
Yeah, the monsters looked absolutely nasty. I did not want to touch one of them.
Yeah, they look like legitimate monsters.
Yeah, I agree. I was impressed. I do have one caveat here though with the doctors, or the scientists, not the doctors. I think they're archaeologists, but like none of them in the labs are doing any sort of like doctor work. We're wearing any protective equipment other than a lab coat, which is like a big no-no.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So that was a little weird to me.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they probably should have included because she was operating on that dead thing, and was she even wearing gloves? I don't know if she might have been, but she definitely wasn't wearing like goggles or anything like that.
No, and I don't know standard procedure for operating on an alien zombie thing.
Yeah.
But I personally would want to wear gloves and goggles. I don't think surgeons wear gloves and goggles. I'm not really.
Yeah, they just sterilize, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That could make sense. I guess it doesn't really matter if it's dead.
Yeah, true.
But you might just think for yourself that you might want to protect yourself from this virus thing.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird that she wasn't wearing any protective equipment, or any of the doctors were wearing protective equipment.
Yeah, there's definitely some flawed logic there.
Yeah. I do agree with you with the Marines, though. They were fairly accurate to what they were, and I was super impressed with those monsters. Like, I guess there's some special effects that goes in with that too, but like the costumes were unbelievable and scary.
Yeah, and they were really one of a kind because like they do not look typical like any other movies that I've seen. They really look like their own type of monster.
I agree. Gross. I absolutely agree. And they're really like veiny, and you can see like the muscles on them. It's
pretty gross.
It's gross. I would not want to stick my hand on one of those. All right.
Me neither. All right. I'd probably give it I'm going to give it a 4.3.
Okay, I'm giving it a 3.9.
All right. I was planning on giving it a 4.5. Okay. But that point you made about the protective equipment actually I think was kind of an oversight.
Yeah, I think so too. And just because, I feel very strongly about that, that's why I've docked it so low.
You and your science. I don't believe in science.
Okay.
Okay. So what's next? Cinematography?
I say we do cinematography.
Okay. You start.
This is the pinnacle of cinematography. Being someone who knows absolutely nothing about cinematography, this is the pinnacle, the best cinematography there ever will be in this world.
Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't get much better than that. It's like slow motion zooms.
Yep. What do you need more than a slow motion zoom onto someone's face?
There are a lot of zooms in this movie.
A lot.
It's like I didn't notice it as much this time because I don't know, maybe I was more into it, but the first time we watched this, I remember just constant zooms.
Yep.
Like every time there was a dialogue between two people and it switched, it would like zoom in.
I remember that.
So,
Like, I don't even think I paid as much attention to the movie the first time we watched it together, because the whole time I was just focusing on how much this camera was zooming into everybody's face all the time. It was wild.
yeah. So they really pulled out, like, whoever the cinematographer was really likes his zooms.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. I can tell you his name actually. His name is Tony Pierce Roberts.
Honestly, never heard of him.
Me neither.
He does a lot of zooms.
He did receive an Academy Award nomination for A Room with a View and Howard's End.
Wow.
I wonder if there's zooms in those.
Probably, the entire movie's probably a zoom.
Yeah.
A slow zoom. Okay, what other cinematography is there in this movie?
The first person thing I thought was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. And that's like another unique, one-of-a-kind thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so cool. Like, I don't think something like that really, like, I'm no expert on first person views in movies, but really got mainstream until Hardcore Henry came out in like 2016, right? Like,
Yeah, like 11 years after this.
yeah, so cool. And like,
So yeah, it was cool how they did that.
pardon?
It was cool how they did that.
Super cool. And like, I thought it was like, what was cool about it is it wasn't the whole movie, right? They could have definitely gone the route of making a whole movie like that, because they're obviously basing it off the video game, which is a first-person shooter. But to throw that in there for the video game fans, not make it the whole movie, because, you know, first person, as I learned from Hardcore Henry, can get you pretty sick. And to only have that 5-minute thing, it pleases everybody, looks super cool, is super fun. Like, it was a great choice and was done well.
Yeah, and that would have been so cool to see in theaters.
Yeah.
I think it would have been so intense.
So cool, so intense, yeah. I was super happy with that part. I think the movie's worth watching even just for that 5-minute clip.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I can't, and you know what? Maybe it's a good thing, but I don't really remember any significant, like, cinematography moments.
Yeah.
Like, they're really in an enclosed space for like the entire movie, essentially. So you can't really have time to go into these long range shots.
No.
You're kind of just up close.
Yeah. And I think they do a good job of like making sure we don't miss too much in those up close shots as well, though, which is nice.
Yeah, they do a good job like transitioning between characters and stuff, and I think sometimes like they angle it in a way where you can see some stuff going on in the background.
Yeah.
That you're kind of like gets you spooked out a bit. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of cool.
Or the other scene that I really liked for cinematography was when he like looks up into the vent and there's a monkey up there.
Oh my god, yeah, that was funny.
The monkey's just like, hey, look, it's me.
That part, I'm like, why? Okay, it's like a really enclosed space, and you're going up to it from below. So why do you give it to the guy with like the LMG minigun mask that needs to like wind up to search up there?
I have no idea. It's so funny.
And then the monkey's like, yeah, and then he just falls
for like 2 hours into the vents.
And the Rock starts shooting it too, even though he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. So funny.
That was funny. But yeah, it like, I guess for people that didn't see it, basically he looks up into this vent, and then it shows his face like looking to like where he's going, and it switches to his point of view, and he's just looking in this like black nothing darkness inside this vent, and you can't see anything, and then out of nowhere this monkey just like appears in the center of the screen and it's like and then he just, like falls down and then shoots the vent, and then they kill the monkey. That was funny.
Weird. So weird.
I guess that does count as cinematography.
Yeah, I think so.
Jump scare. But I did think it was a bit predictable.
Oh, absolutely, it was predictable. But I'm going to count that in writing more than anything. And I was still a little scared by that monkey, even though I knew it was coming. And I think that's because of the cinematography.
Oh, yeah, and the loud noise.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I think I'm ready to rate this.
All right.
Now, I know I led this off with, this is the pinnacle of cinematography. I may have had a little sarcasm there. Because the zooms into the face, I think there was a little too many of them. So I think I can't give it a 5 out of 5, but I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
You know what? Fair enough. I was thinking probably going to give it a 4.2. You're giving it a 4.5?
Yeah.
Okay. 4.5. Okay. So we got 2 left. Which should we go to first?
I think we have to go with Donnie, right?
All right. So I actually have a comment about this one.
Okay.
Sure, it didn't have a Donnie.
Okay.
But it had Pinky, who the actor was in Band of Brothers with the one and only Donnie Wahlberg.
Was he really?
Yes, he was in Band of Brothers. He was one of the guys. I forget what his name is, but he's he's one of the important guys. He's not like the most important guy, but he's one of the characters that's in the entire show. He's like one of the other sergeants.
Here, I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah.
His name, he plays John Martin in Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember this guy.
Because of that, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
It doesn't have the Donnie,
right.
But it does have...
It's a one-step connection to Donnie.
Yeah, it really is a one-step connection.
Okay.
So that's about as good as it gets, besides being Donnie.
That's very true. It's very true. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5, too. I don't think it's passable, but I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, it's definitely more passable than Steve Buscemi being named Donnie in another
different movie.
A completely unrelated movie.
Yeah.
But pretty good. So, and you know what? Because Pinky's character was so redundant to the entire thing,
right?
Maybe they put his character in just for that connection.
To Donnie Wahlberg. It has to be. Donnie Wahlberg is the biggest draw.
I'm going to give it a 2.1 because of that.
Okay. Donnie Wahlberg is the biggest draw in cinema. He's amazing.
Yes. Really is. So, general experience, the final one.
All right. I want to hear your opinion on this before I give you mine.
All right, I'm going to give you my opinion and my rating, and it's not going to change.
Okay.
Unless you have some good points, in which case it might change.
Okay.
So, you can see how convinced I am of this. Okay, anyways, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Because while it wasn't the most amazing in any area, actually the costume design was pretty awesome. There wasn't a lot of costumes, but it made sense for the story. Anyways, I thought it was entertaining the entire time, and I was staying up late to watch it, and it would still keep me interested even though I was tired. And I think it was the right amount of time to tell the story. There weren't a lot of things that I thought were pointless, except Pinky's character. I'm still why was he even there? Besides, kind of comic relief. But it was entertaining throughout.
Okay.
And yeah, no, that's pretty much it. It was just a solid, entertaining movie throughout, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
All right, so I definitely enjoyed it. I kind of based my rating a little bit off of how much I enjoyed Con Air. And I gave Con Air a 4.5 out of 5 because I love Con Air. As a movie, I just think it's enjoyable. But Doom, like, I don't know, this type of movie wasn't 100% up my alley, but got me intrigued and enjoyed it. And so I was gonna give it like a 3 out of 5. Um, but you're kind of talking there has bumped me up. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Um, because it definitely did keep my attention, and I wasn't in a super movie watching mood when I watched it. So I want to give it some leeway there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough. It was an entertaining movie and kind of similar to Con Air. It was really action the entire time.
yeah. I just I don't know. I felt like it was a little more like horror-y than Con Air. And like I like horror movies, I like action movies. I just don't like them combined together.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't mean like action genre. I meant like just like there was something going on all the time.
Yeah. There was kept your attention well.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, the horror action is really kind of interesting because it didn't it didn't have the same horror elements as like regular horror movies.
Yeah,
I guess most of the time people in horror movies aren't really fighting back
it's true.
or they can't really fight back. But this time they're just kicking their ass. So it really is more like a zombie movie, except like way more intense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a zombie movie, but like more like an 80s action zombie movie.
Yeah. It actually kind of reminded me of Alien a bit at some parts.
Honestly, it reminded me of Alien and Predator too.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is because it's like these people going into like something way over their head that they don't even understand,
Yeah.
and they're just getting picked off one at a time. It really is kind of like that.
It's the same script, I feel like.
Literally the same script.
Yeah, all the lines were the same. It was wild. I didn't realize it until just now.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But they are super duper similar.
Yeah, it's very similar ways that the story was kind of portrayed, I think, in the way it was written.
Yeah. I think like it's a solid movie. I definitely recommend watching it. I think later at night's probably a better time to watch it. If you watch it midday, I feel like you're not going to get in the right vibe for the movie.
Yeah, definitely. It's more intense when you're kind of watching it at night and you're in the right environment for it, not distracted by anything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I definitely would recommend it too.
Yeah. I think it's the way to go. All right. So do you have our Con Air totals from last time?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the way we should do this is we'll add these up. Okay. And then
Yeah.
you can remind us of our Con Air total and then do an intense reveal of which one won. Okay.
All right. So, should I just compare them like one element at a time and then give the overall?
I guess we can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so for actors, Con Air was pretty similar. I gave it a 3.5 for both. You gave Con Air a 3.8 and Doom a 3.5.
Okay.
So pretty close. I gave the plot in Con Air a 3.2.
Okay.
And in Doom I gave it a 3. Interestingly, you gave the Con Air plot 3 and you gave the Doom plot 3.1. So, the Doom plot was better than Con Air, which is reasonable. But
I mean, I felt like they're very similar. I only gave that 0.1 there because I didn't want to give a 3 to
anyways, soundtrack, Con Air frickin' destroyed Doom. It had a 3 from me versus Doom 2.5, and then you gave it a 4.1, and then you gave Doom a 3.2.
Yeah.
Cinematography, though, Doom beat Con Air. Con Air, I gave it a 4, and then I gave Doom a 4.2. You gave Con Air a 4.3, and you gave Doom a 4.5.
I think that's reasonable.
Thanks to the... But you know what, man? Some of those Nicolas Cage jumping, running through fire with his hair flowing in the wind and his biceps.
So good.
I kind of like some of that.
So good.
I think the Donnie here, we gave Con Air 0.5 each for Donnie, but this one got a 2.1 from me and a 2 from you, which is actually a pretty significant difference.
It's a huge difference.
Costume design, we both gave Con Air a 4 out of 5. I gave Doom a 4.3. You gave Doom a 3.9. And general experience, we actually both gave Con Air more. I gave a 4 for both. And then you gave Con Air a 4.5 for general experience and Doom a 3.5.
Okay.
So, anyways.
I stand by all my ratings.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah.
So, okay, to average it out, I gave Con Air a 3.17 average.
Okay.
And I gave Doom a 3.37 average. So for me, Doom was better.
Okay.
But for Con Air, you gave it about a 3.46 average.
Yeah.
And Doom a 3.39 average.
Okay, I think that accurately represents our personal opinions on each movie.
Yeah, we're actually pretty close. Like, we're within 0.015 on the Doom ratings, which is pretty close.
That's wild.
But anyways, Con Air average 3.31 and Doom average 3.38.
Holy moly! Oh my gosh!
So Doom wins.
Holy, what is that? That's like 0.7 of 0.07 of a rating. What the?
Yeah, 0.0, like, yes, about that.
Oh my gosh. That is wild. You know, I really thought Con Air was going to go straight to the end, but that's wild that Doom just won that. And I think it deserves it.
Yeah, Doom was solid.
Yeah.
And I honestly, Con Air, like, they had some good actors in there. I don't know what. Actually, you know what? I do know what stole it for Doom.
I do too.
If you gave Doom the same Donnie rating as Con Air, then Con Air would have won.
With it.
Yeah, then it would have been, let's see. Then it would have been 3.31 to 3.16.
Wow.
So the Donnie secured the win. Literally, Pinky being in the movie secured the win for Doom.
Most useless character. Man,
but was he?
Just shows having Donnie in your movies pays off.
Yeah, Donnie really kind of stole the show this time. Wow. I'm surprised too.
Yeah. Man.
I was kind of hoping for Doom.
You were hoping for Doom? I have a golden place in my heart for Con Air, so I was a little hoping for Con Air, but I'm happy Doom's going through.
Yeah, I'm okay. I would be okay with either of these. They're both solid movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, I bet we're gonna have a battle bracket with both movies lower than the scores of both of these.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So maybe we'll have to have a wild card. Some sort of bracket or something.
What do you mean by a wild card?
I don't know. You know in those tournaments where like you get knocked out?
Right.
But then there's a chance for you to get back in?
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We're only two movies in. Maybe these will be the two worst movies somehow. I doubt it, but it's possible.
Okay. All right. So that concludes, our first battle bracket competition between Con Air and Doom, with Doom taking it, which is wild. Our next bracket, I'm not sure. Like we have a few options here. What do you think our next bracket should be? Out of we got Anaconda, Commando, The Green Inferno, Dead Silence, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
this is tough. This is real.
You know what? I'm down to just do it in order.
All right. So that means
Anaconda.
Our next movie you're going to be rating is Anaconda, and the next battle is going to be between Anaconda and Commando.
Great. Anaconda, great movie.
Yeah.
Can't wait to rewatch it. Commando. Honestly, I think Commando might take the entire thing.
I think I don't know if Commando's going to take the whole thing, but I think Commando's got a good shot on Anaconda here in Pro.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Commando.
Yeah.
Might be able to take the win, but we'll see.
I feel like our bottom half of the bracket is a lot worse than our top half of the bracket here.
Yeah, we really, honestly, it's probably going to go down from here. I think Con Air and Doom might be the two best movies, but I think From Dusk Till Dawn is going to be solid.
I think From Dusk Till Dawn, that's my pick to win it. Now that I know Con Air's out, because Con Air was my pick to win it until today.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I honestly, for me, I'm thinking it might be Commando, but we'll see. Honestly, I'm guessing that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 finishes dead last.
Yeah, me too. Oh man, you know what other movie is going to be quite shocking? I think as well how well it's going to do. I think The Green Inferno is going to do pretty well.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know. It might be. I think it's got a solid chance of beating Dead Silence, except for A Secret Weapon in Dead Silence.
Oh, yeah, me too. I don't want to spoil it, but...
Yeah, don't want to spoil it, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyways, Anaconda next week. I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
I hope it's on Netflix. Probably not.
I hope it's on Netflix, too. All right. So yeah, I think we should just end it here. What do you think?
Yes, we dragged on this finale for probably far too long.
Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. If you want, recommend, if you like our opinions that are based on absolutely no knowledge or facts, pass this podcast on to someone else. We'd appreciate it. Leave us a like if you want. Leave us a comment if you like. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our rating system, with how we've rated. Let us know what you think of these movies. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to end this podcast? We started with John Cena. Do you want to end it with us saying John Cena in unison?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Are we going to say the do part?
Yes, absolutely. It's John Cena, do.
Okay. Ready. 3, 2, 1.
John Cena,
do.
Oh my God, that was horrible. Okay, have a great night, everybody.